right, we're going to cover the paperwork on this segment concerning the redeeming versus non-redeeming qualities. All right. All right. The original note. Understand, the original note or the promissory part. It gives you the right to collect. All right. It spells out the terms. Excuse me. The promissory note spells out the terms of repayment, and it gives you the right to collect those payments. The security instrument or the mortgage deed or trust, all right, essentially gives you the right to take the property back via foreclosure if the borrower defaults. All right. Um, you want to make sure that everything is recorded correctly. You want to make sure if there's been, you want to make sure that uh, that the mortgage or deed of trust has been recorded properly, that the note and the mortgage, the numbers jive up, the everything is correct that's in that mortgage statement, all right, in the document, and make sure that everything is right. The property address, all right, the purchase amount, all those things. You have to go through and verify because there are mistakes that are made. All right, I just ran across one this past week that everything was right in the note part, but in the mortgage, there was a mistake on the state and the zip code of the trustee, all right, on the deed of trust. Now, it wasn't anything blatant, but it could pose an issue if the property would have to come back to you in the courts. So you would want to get that corrected before you would take control of that. You also want to do an updated title review. Make sure there's nothing, that there's no taxes or anything that's jumped above you in as far as your lien position. You want to make sure that the title is clean. If there are any judgments against the borrower, that everything is behind you because you will be in the first lien position, and that you have the full right to be able to collect on that note and be able to take the property back if you need to. And then the conveyance documents. Sometimes these notes have been assigned maybe 2, 3, 4 times. So you need to line up the allonges, which is the endorsement of the note, all right, and the assignment, which is the assignment of the deed of trust or the mortgage, which gets recorded in the recorder's office. You need to make sure that those flow, that you have the originals on each of those, all right, and that the timeline on each of those are correct, and that the assignments are all recorded properly to make sure the chain of title has not been broken. Critically important, and you need to absolutely hold on to the originals. Now, if there is an issue where there is not an original, there is a way to work through it. All right, but at the same token, you want to have the originals and keep the originals. So you just make sure that everything lines up properly. So what we've covered in summary, all right, we've talked about the borrower, we've talked about the collateral, we've talked about the buyer's equity, we've talked about the loan terms, the payment history, and the paperwork. These are the 6 critical items, all right, to determine the redeeming versus non-redeeming qualities of each one of those items and whether you can live with it or you can't live with it. It's not any one particular thing. Some things are of higher importance than others, but you chart it out and on your T, all right, on your graph, on your T, saying, all right, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this. Do you have more redeeming than non-redeeming? Those types of things, and those that are non-redeeming, can they be corrected to make them redeeming? So that's the simple way in which to try to look through all these when you're evaluating a note. Hope that helps.